things are moving along pretty quickly, getting stuff out of the engine bay here so we can start to get all this old paint off and primer it and then spray it. You know, basically pulling the head and doing this, and I'm still middle of the afternoon here. So it's pretty fast work. A lot of area that you can work in here. It's not constrained. It's not tight. And, you know, taking this stuff apart is pretty self-evident if you've messed around with any British cars before, even if you haven't. It's pretty simple stuff. Just photograph like crazy, document like crazy, photograph where all the wire connections are and things like that, photograph what kind of fasteners were used to hold things in, what kind of grommets were in the firewall, so you can get that right when you put it back together. And believe me, you will never be sorry for having too many photographs while you're doing something like this. You will always go back to something and say, wait a second, I can't recall exactly how that was. But anyway, things are moving along pretty quickly here. So we're going to take a minute to explore the wonders of the mysterious and so often ineffectual windscreen wiper motor here that's very typical on English cars of this era. First I unhooked the wiring, and what I want you to notice is that previously when they splashed this very poor black spray paint all over the interior here, they sprayed the wires as well. And of course you want to be able to see the colors of the wires, so when you rewire things, you do it properly if you're going to use the old harness. I do have a product, Citrus Clean, which will take that paint off really quickly, but will not damage the wires, will not damage the insulation. So I've got a lot of black wires in here which weren't originally black. But what we want to do is we want to take off the windscreen washer here and explore how that's fit. And we would be doing that anyway because you can see that the little rubber mounts that hold it here are pretty much perished. And so that's very typical, very inexpensive to get new ones and repair those. And then, of course, clean this up so it looks good. If I'm going to spend all that time repainting here and under the bonnet, well, we're definitely going to want all the ancillaries to look good. So how do we get this thing off now? We've unhooked the wiring. Obviously, we're going to have to unhook these feet, but how do we get it off this cable drive that goes to the wipers themselves? So to get the windscreen washer motor, wiper motor clear, we have to get it off this cable. And there's these set of little 1/4-inch fasteners here. They're kind of unique looking, so you definitely don't want to lose them. Anyway, you have to take that off, and then we'll take the cover off of here. And then we can see the mechanism, and we can free it up. To get the sort of motor off of the little stand here, you just have to get underneath there, and it's a 5/16 size fastener, and it'll come off, and this is sort of what it looks like. And when you get a new set of little rubber things here, it'll come with the whole set. Okay, so it's easy to get the feet off that thing, but then how do you get it off of the line that runs to the actual wipers? Well, basically it's connected like this, and to get it off, you remove this. That then allows you to take the contact to the ground, which is kind of what controls when the wipers park and all that stuff, off. And then once that's off, you just pull this up. And when you pull that off, then that releases this, and you can take the wiper away. So that's all there is to it. And obviously we're going to clean this up, and we're going to clean the brushes and see if the brushes are good, and the commutator and everything else in there. But those are the bits and pieces. Don't lose them, and off it comes. The hardest thing is actually kind of getting underneath here and getting at some of the screws that hold the 3 feet on there. But anyway, we did that, got it off, and
and that is the typical kind of way these windscreen washer motors were attached.